Hi everyone, we're here with we've got Roy Collins, sales technical sales representative for Thermaflo in Australia, and we've got Nico van Niekerk from Filmatic in South Africa, and we've got myself, general manager for Thermaflo in New Zealand. We're just doing a short video. I think this video session we're going to be talking about inline, rotary, level fill, netway, piston fill. There's differences in each, and there's applications that suit each type of fill type. So Nico's, one of the experts on this subject matter, and Roy's pretty clued up as well. So Nico, Filmatic, they've got quite a wide range of fillers. And can you tell us a little bit about the basic design differences between inline, rotary, and whether you can do level fill, netway, and piston fill on each of those?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, you're quite right. There's a variant of designs and configurations that we use, and mostly determined on the type of product that is being handled. So, a short description of each one of those would be your gravity filler is basically used for products, single strength products such as water and juice, milk, and up to some cordial, sometimes alcohol. The term level filling basically tells you that the quantity of liquid being transferred into the container is controlled by to a certain level, and that level is preset, determined by the distance the filling valve travels into the container. Because it uses gravity as well, hence the reason why we say it's used for single strength product, but also you can go up to a certain viscosity. The only thing that happens is the filling slows down a little bit, and it slows down until it gets to a stage where it doesn't flow at all. Then you know you can't use a gravity filler for that type of product. A net weight filler, on the other hand, uses a load cell to measure the weight of the container as it is filled, going through the filling section of the equipment. And the filling valve is controlled by a pneumatic valve, and the information from the load cell is transferred to the PLC, and the PLC basically controls the opening and the closing of the valve to allow the liquid to go into the container. On the other hand, so the third one then is a rotary piston filler. A rotary piston filler is a volumetric filler operating on a mechanical valve to transfer the product into the container, and this is used for high viscosity products. Again, the filling valve is pneumatically controlled. More viscous products such as oil, mayonnaise, sauces are usually the type of products that we will use a piston filler for, because you're basically forcing the product into the container and not relying on gravity as such. The viscosity of the product doesn't matter.
So once you've decided what type of filling head you'd use, what are some of the things that might determine the speed or the throughput of the filler?
The smaller the neck, the smaller the valve, the slower your filling speed will be, and vice versa. The bigger your neck size, for argument's sake, some 5 liters now have got a 45 millimeter cap. There we can use a 35 millimeter filling valve, increases your speed. So that becomes a constraint or a choking point, because there's not always enough space around the filling valve for the liquid to go in and the air to go out into the vent tube. Things like that is what we have to consider.
One of the things limiting the speed is the base of the bottle and how many bottles you can fit in the rotary section of your rotary fillers. And one of the things I was quite impressed with your machines, if a client, for example, has a very small bottle and then a larger bottle, for example, a 250 milliliter bottle, and then they also want to fill a 5 liter bottle, that's quite a big difference in the bottle base size. And your machines, you can actually set up, for example, a 24 filling head. You can also set up to do just 12 bottles if it's the larger bottle size. And so your machines are quite adaptable. You could do a 24 filling head and a Foster speed for the 250 mil, and then just use every second pedestal and fill at a slightly slower speed with the 5 liter bottles. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
To accommodate various layouts that customers have on site, do you have the capacity to accommodate with your fillers an in-feed of the product coming from the left or the right, or even front on at a 90-degree in-feed. Is that possible?
Yes, most certainly it is. Traditionally, we've done our machines with a left to right in-feed, but recently we had a request for the opposite right to left in-feed, which we've done successfully. And in similar fashion, a head-on in-feed with a 90-degree discharge to the right, it is very possible. We get those requests from time to time, and it's very doable because, if the customer is limited to space, there's a reason why they ask for that kind of configuration. Then we accommodate it, yes, certainly.
How easy is it in terms of changing the machine? And does that have to be done by an operator, or is it someone a bit more skilled in terms of the machine mechanics, like a maintenance person?
One of the nice features of our machines, specifically the rotary machines, is the fact that our changeovers are probably the most simplistic that you can find on this kind of type of equipment. The operators do the changeovers. You don't need any more skilled person than the operator. The change parts normally have either only one milled stainless steel nut that you loosen. Depending on the size, it might be two, but it's all toolless. So you do it by hand. It's manufactured from a lightweight HDPE plastic. So literally, you can take it off with one hand, put it back, the next one back in, and you hand tighten the stainless steel nut, and it's unlocated, so you can't put it in wrong. It's only one way for it to go in. And also, what we do is we encode the change part with a set of stainless steel pins in a certain arranged in a certain pattern, which is picked up by the sensor underneath the change part. So what happens is when you put a 500 milliliter change part into the machine and you select a 1 liter recipe on the PLC, the machine will tell you you've got the wrong change parts in.
How long would it take to initiate a changeover on one of your machines for say, one person?
If you take one of the more common size machines like an 18 head N3, which is a sort of average size machine, which we do a lot of, a single operator should be able to do that within 15 minutes. If it takes longer than 15 minutes, then something is wrong. And we have seen it being done in as little as 5 to 6 minutes with a single operator.
So in regards to adjustments in the machine as part of the changeover, are they things that can be automated, or is that a manual adjustment on the machine?
Most certainly the height adjustment, most definitely. If you go from a 500 ml bottle, which is that height, to a 2 liter that's twice the size and height, you obviously have to do height adjustments. But that is all automated. So the filling section as well as the sealing section, the height adjustment can be incorporated into the PLC. So it becomes part of the recipe. So if you select 2 liter as opposed to 500 milliliters, you change the change parts, and when you select the recipe on the PLC, it will automatically adjust it.
With the sizes that your fillers can accept, is there a maximum bottle size or a minimum bottle size?
The maximum bottle diameter that we can handle is 160 millimeters on the rotary fillers, and a height range between 120 minimum up to 320 millimeters in height. Outside those parameters, it's not to say it cannot be done, but that will typically become a special design type of configuration that we will have to do to accommodate that.
And so if a client's got a rectangular bottle, that 160 millimeter diameter would be the furthest distance from opposite corner to opposite corner.
The diagonal, yes, that's correct.
In your fillers, when what are some of the safety features that you got? For example, even in the operation of it, if there's no bottle come through the machine, what sort of protection has the machine got?
All the fillers come standard with safety doors and interlocks. And literally, if somebody opens up the door while the machine is running, the machine will stop immediately. It's a safety factor to protect the operators. But also, we make use of a number of sensors throughout the machine to detect things like bottle jams and cap jams, caps getting stuck or upside down. to stop the machine as well, and that's mostly to prevent the machine from damaging itself.
I imagine, Nico, all your machines have a no bottle, no fill valve shut off.
Yes, definitely. So every filler that Filmatic manufactures has got a no bottle, no fill function. Piston filler or netway filler will make use of sensors to depict whether there's a bottle or not, which will tell the PLC which filling valve not to open if there's no bottle present. Whether it's pump, inline, rotary, doesn't matter. Same function, yes.
In Australia and New Zealand, we use a general rule with moving machinery is that the operator shouldn't be able to, even at full stretch of the arm, be able to touch any moving parts. So can you confirm that your doors with interlocks restrict any operator from sticking an arm in and getting caught up in moving machinery?
Yes, when the doors are closed, there's absolutely no access to the moving bits of the machinery, unless he climbs over the top. But yeah, if he really wants to. But no, when the doors are closed, you can't reach any moving equipment.
The operators have touch screen control. There's recipes for different bottle sizes or different fill parameters. Can you give us a little bit of a better insight into what brand PLCs, for example, you use there?
So we use Siemens as a standard, but we quite happy to accommodate specific requests. Like we know Alan Bradley is sort of a standard in your parts of the world. So we're quite happy to accommodate that from the client side. There's absolutely no issue with that.
A contact in Australia or New Zealand, for that matter, needed to know more about Filmatic. What's the best way for them to find out information and to get some presentations done?
We're quite happy for the end user, the clients, to contact you guys firstly. That's the way we want it, because you working closely with the client, and then you bring across the information to us. Clients call Thermaflo directly for any support and contact.